Was a creature. It can still be a creature. Anyway, I'm going to put that away, but Meredith has to fix that thing. It's part of her culture. The crazy thing is that I actually had one of those growing up. We just called it the armadillo. We didn't know what it was. My grandpa was in Chile, and he would always bring back instruments for us. And that's the weird thing. Hey, Tari, how are you doing tonight? I grew up with a lot of weird, exotic handmade instruments in the house. Maybe it formed something in my head. So I did have exposure to these instruments. My grandpa did a lot of traveling through his work. South America, the Caribbean, Haiti, Africa. He was all over. He was all over. So he'd always bring back like handmade flutes or stringed instruments and just different sorts of art. He would bring it back. He'd always bring back really nice art, not cheesy tourist stuff. He would get some nice folk art. Hey, Gopher, how are you doing? That lamp you made looked really nice, Gopher. That wooden lamp was really nice. I'm sorry, Tari, I have not had time to practice. I really want to practice. Just never quite. I need my things to kind of stabilize a bit with my life and the shop and everything. I'm hoping to have a relatively normal life soon. We will see. It was a bit of a rush job. Well, conceptually it worked. I'm sure if the pictures look good. That's always the thing. There comes a point when you're under deadlines where you just have to be like, okay, that's what it is, you know? And just leave it at that. Just ruined your monitor today. Stabbed it with a SMTH. Oh, at least that. There's nothing worse than when there's like a pixel out right in the middle and then that's all you see. With something. Oh, okay. Just stabbed it. Give me a second. I just need my crowning file. So Tari, peep this, yo. For my big river, I'm going to wire it with a 4-way switch. It's going to have a 4-way switch so that you can bring it into series to get a little bit more oomph. And then it's going to have another toggle that we were talking about before between the volume and the tone. There'll be a little toggle that switches between 50s wiring and modern wiring. So that's what I want to try on the next one. I'm getting more elaborate with my wiring now. And I think that'll be a pretty cool setup for a Telecaster style guitar. That gives quite a bit of versatility. So for this neck, the body's already done. This is the neck for it. So next week, I should have the first one wired up like that. Phase 2, I don't think I can coil split because there's single coils in the Tele. I don't think I can, unless I was doing like a humbucker. You put your open pocket knife socket on the socket of the monitor. Yeah, the tele coil split is not an option. This is just something I can do to the Telecaster that I can just make it interesting. I want to see how all the different things sound and if it's something that I want to put in the rest, because it's not actually that hard to do 50s wiring. All I have to do is run, oh, where is it? Run the capacitor. It's just how you wire the capacitor. So you don't have to add a whole lot. And so this is just an on-on switch, a little toggle that will just switch the capacitor, how the capacitor interacts with like the tone. That's it. And the volume. So it's like, that's a fairly simple little switch. So that's for like 50s and modern wiring. And then like I said, I put in a 4-way switch for, and then that's just, you run both the pickups onto just one of them. So you basically just double them up onto just one tab of the switch. I don't think I explained that properly. I know in theory how this is going to work. Don't ask me, I don't know anything. No, I haven't done a coil split yet. I do have a JB I do have a 4-wire JB that I will do a coil split with. I just don't know which one to do it with, but I have this JB with 4 wires. So this one can be coil split. And I was thinking about doing one with a mini bucker in the neck and then a coil split JB in the bridge. I think that would be a neat combo. So I do have the pickups for a coil split. I just don't have a guitar yet for it. I'll get to it eventually, soon. I will get to everything eventually. But the main thing is getting my commissions, in order. I got the F-holes cut and the body glued up on the spalted maple today. I got the neck scarfed. I scarfed the neck and I wasn't happy with the wood. So I switched the wood out and I'll use this neck on something else. It's not a huge thing, but so with I don't even know if you guys will be able to see it. So I scarfed this piece of wood. Scarfing is when you slice it off and then you glue it back on at this is a 13-degree angle. Usually it's between 11 and 13. This is a 13-degree angle. And what happened was, you can kind of see it there, that this side is darker than that side. It's really subtle, but you can see it. This one is getting a very clear matte finish, so you would see that. So I had to switch out the wood. This one will be used for my Bigsby Big River, and I'm going to tongue oil this one, so it will all turn yellow anyway, so it doesn't matter. Those color variations will kind of blend. But for the commission, the wood is staying very white, so I need it to be very consistent looking. So just one of those things. Just one of those things that it's not a huge deal, but I had to do it a second time. Yeah. Well, I only have a JB. I'll have to get a 59. I'll have to get a 59 and split it. You know what I heard, actually? I was thinking the Seymour Duncan slash pickups apparently split really nice. And I was thinking about getting some slash pickups, even though I would be embarrassed to have the Slash pickups in my guitar. I heard they split really nice. So I'm actually thinking about getting a set of the Slash. Apparently they're really good pickups. It's just Slash is so ridiculous, you know. It would just be like, yeah, these are the Slash pickups. Yeah, tongue oil is great. So Gopher, I use a product called Waterlocks, which is a 2-part tongue oil and then a resin sealer on top. So you get the tongue oil look, but you also get a nice sealer coat on it that just protects a little bit better. Yeah, nobody will ever notice if I stain it. Yeah, do a veneer. They're pricey. They're all pricey. Dusty Pink Unicorn, sand away. What's another good one? Oh, the Nazguls. I really like the Nazgul pickups as well. Gatalogic, how are you doing? Yeah, then the tongue poly. It's very similar to that. You would get about the same. I do like the poly tongue sealer. It just gives it. You feel like you can wipe it down if it gets gummed up. When I just do an oil finish, sometimes I'll do a hard wax finish like Osmo oil, which is like a poly oil hard wax, which is pretty good, but it takes a little while to cure. The poly tongue is pretty good because you can build that up too. Also, I started spraying with my air gun the second part because I found I was getting too much streaking. It was fine on walnut, but on less porous woods, I was getting way too much streaking. So I started spraying it, and that worked. Gatalogic, how was your weekend? Pricey guitar at work with your Hondo. Nice. I got to get this neck done. I got to get that guitar done. Like I was saying, I have everything I need to succeed as far as wiring that goes. Odyssey Guitars, Sean from Odyssey Guitars traded me a bunch of Tone Rider Tele pickups for some templates. So I have 3 sets of Tone Riders right now, which we'll do in the interim. But I got Jer. I was chatting with Jer. I don't know when this will get done, but Jer is going to prototype me some Tele pickups. So soon, right now I'm just testing a new wiring rig setup to kind of make it a little bit more versatile. Then I can start testing pickups with it. And then that eventually for my production run, my Turkish Walnut apparently is in the city. I want to do a run of 4 guitars, 4 Walnut Big Rivers with my own pickups, a unique wiring setup, and this Turkish Walnut. I got a plan. I think that would be a really cool series. I have a bit of interest in it. So that's my goal, is to get that set up sometime in October, get my commissions done, then do that production run and get that done before Christmas. These are my plans. Nice. You cleaned the house a lot, worked on your digital art. Right on. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know what? I was talking to a guy with the PRS, and he was saying that he rarely switches back and forth, that he just uses the humbuckers. Like, he found that like people who use the coil split, like the single coils, just use that. The people who use the humbuckers just do that. But actually, Tari, he lent me his McCarty. I have a 90s McCarty here in the shop. we go. Here is a early, maybe a mid-90s McCarty. A third pickup, yes. So Tari, they used to do it, they called it a Nashville setup. And they put a Strat middle pickup in the middle of it. It's called a Nashville setup. And they used to do it in like the 60s or maybe the 70s. But there is a 3 pickup layout. The only problem with this one, it's not book matched. But it's a nice guitar. So this is a 90s PRS. It has the bird inlays. Mahogany neck, one-piece mahogany body, flame maple top, not book matched, but it still looks nice. Maybe it's a little book matched. It's not a great book match, and there's a lot of artifacts in that maple. You can see all those mineral deposits. It's not bad. It's a nice Indian rosewood fingerboard, a little heavy, but it's a solid mahogany body, you know. But all in all, a very nice guitar. This thing still goes for a couple grand at least. Very nice fret access. Yeah, good fret access. Feels good. The reason I always do the bevel on my guitar is because I always kind of rest my arm there. And I get not everybody does that, but I find that it kind of rubs a little bit on the edge there. But it's nice to have this one. So I'm going to be doing a McCarty style guitar for a client. So this is invaluable to me because now I can just work off measurements of this and get the carve just right. It's good to actually hold a good quality one. It's still in really good shape. It's a nice, action is super low. It's a nice guitar. Neck is a little chunky. Yeah, the carved corner, because it dips in. As you guys can see, there's a lip. It looks really nice to have that lip, but I find it to be kind of uncomfortable. And here's another thing, is that's not actually binding. They just tape off that part and spray it. That's actually just the top, which is kind of funny. Not actually binding. It's a good workaround. But anyway, nice looking guitar. Still a very nice guitar in really good shape. So thanks. This is the guitar. Do you guys remember the guy, Tari, the guy who did the SG Jazzmaster, the blue SG Jazzmaster? This is his guitar. Hey, HSC going retro. Thank you for that follow. It doesn't have the the contour. Yeah, the lip. It's a lip. False binding. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. It's nice to see one of these, and you know what? I'm going to start doing carved tops on the Roya. I'm not going to do a PRS style carve, but it's good to kind of build something like this, just to go through the process of a set neck and just doing something different. I'm confident that I can do something nice, but it's going to be a lot of work. This is going to be a lot of work. So, Tari, you can see, you'll see the progress. and I'm getting some dye for doing the burst and everything. So I like the size of the McCarty. I do like it. It is a very nice shape and nice feel. There's a reason why everybody, why PRS has the rep they do. It is a nice guitar. I don't get to handle too many of these. Yeah, you wouldn't do the lip. No, I have to do the lip because that's what the client wants this. And it's like, I'm working on something, Tari, with the Roya that will look really, really nice and different, but also have some of the same aesthetics of like flame maple or really nice tops. But I'm going to carve it in a different way that fits with my aesthetic and how I like things. Because if I did, where is it? If I did do a carved top like this, like mine, it's not exactly like a PRS, but definitely there are some, it's about the same size. There are similarities in its dimensions, but they are different guitars. But it's pretty hard to do a semi-hollow Super Strat without looking like, without looking original. I have an idea. You guys will see it. I have an idea. I have a vision to make my Roya stand out and not look like anything else. I'm sure there'll be somebody who's like, oh, it looks like this. Yeah. Well, you can do, that's the thing, Tari, when you do a set neck, there's certain advantages to the set neck with how you can carve it. Because it's inlaid deeper, right? So it goes deeper in. As opposed to mine are bolt-ons. So there's certain things that I can't do unless I bolted it deeper in the pocket or like just had a deeper pocket. It's just one of the advantages. Like so a set neck, for those who don't know, a set neck is when it's glued in. And there's a certain way that you kind of go about that. There's a lot of advantages to a set neck, being you can get better fret access. You can carve it away a lot more. But if the neck goes, you're screwed. But these necks are pretty good. I was talking to Jer, and he said he did a bunch of setups on some vintage PRSs that have been sitting for years. He said the necks did not move. Yeah. I try that hard corner. Yeah, I took that out on mine. I have a curved pocket. So that's what I did. I still have a bolt on, but the pocket, it curves. And then I carve my neck right up to, let's put that right there. Like, I'll show you on this one. And I'll just put this one over here. I do have hangers everywhere. Cover up the Doge painting. This is the best I could do for fret access with a bolt-on. That's probably like one of the best things I could do. That's the best I can do. And you get pretty good, honestly, this is pretty good fret access. Like my hand can reach right in there because of how it's curved. You get pretty nice fret access. Yeah, I've seen that done. So on Ibanez, they bevel it a little bit, and Ibanez still has a plate on it, and they bevel it and put a plate on. So it'd be kind of like, I have seen it done with Ibanez. Rage, what's going on? Which router bits? I just use a chamfer bit. I use a chamfer, just a 45 chamfer bit. And this is cut out, which is a quarter inch bit. I don't use anything really. This is all carved by hand. I do the profile. I cut out the profile, but that is carved by hand, that neck, to fit into that shape. Hand carving. See? Let's get that light out of there so you can see the... Oh, it just keeps blooming it out. Anyway. Yeah. What brand? I don't know. I'm not really brand oriented. I don't know the brand. With bits, it's just kind of like, hey, Guitar Spooky, thank you for following. With bits, I find it's like they wear out so quickly. It's just like I just get new ones. I don't know which ones last better. Yeah, the bit quality is pretty bad these days. Like that's the thing. It's like you can spend that extra $20, but you don't know if you'll be getting anything better than that. Yeah, I don't know what I would recommend, honestly. Anyway, I'm thinking about sending this guitar to Saskatchewan. This guitar will be, I think I gotta send something. I told the guy at Royal Harp I would send him an instrument, so I think I might send him this one. I think this would be a good one to end up in Saskatchewan. Amana? Rage knows these things, Gopher. Rage sells these things. Amana? That's the brand that you recommend? Carbide. Yeah, any sort of carbide. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. So as soon as I finish the spalted maple, so I just have it glued up right now. I got the chambers cut on the body. I got the F-holes cut out. I got glued on. Carbide truss rods. Meredith had some titanium truss rods, and man, were they light. They are pricey though. I think they're like between $30 and $50 to get like a titanium truss rod. But man, are they light and low profile. If you ever need to do a really light, thin neck, get the titanium. Manny, trolling Rage. Rage just throwing out his opinions. You guys, on Friday, you'll get Rage's unfettered opinions. Unfettered opinions in person. Rage Guitars. You want to troll him? You can troll him in person. You want to rustle his jimmies? You be here on Friday. You want to be smacked with the knowledge? Friday is where it's going to be. Right here on this channel, 2-year stream anniversary, featuring Rage Guitars. No fetter him. Unfettered access. You guys want the rage. I'm bringing you the rage. Hey, Crafty. Getting raided by Crafty here. What's going on? Welcome, Raiders. Rage appears, drops his opinions, and then disappears. Positively Crafty, how are you doing? How was your stream? We raided into Positively Crafty the other night, last week, and she was working on this beaded dragon that was really neat. Very, very interesting crafts. Have you guys been following Positively Crafty? Highly recommend it. Okay, fair enough. Yes. Thank you for coming in, Crafty. We'll catch you again. I'll get you next time. What's going on there, Mort?
Oh, I'm packing up that blue Freya. I gotta ship it today.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go home. This little boy's tired.
Yeah.
I walked here this morning.
Oh, hey Tari, have you seen Gus yet? We have another puppy. Oh, he just left. We have another puppy in the shop. Another puppy. We just get rid of the dogs and just get new puppies. Anyway, what I'm doing today for those just showing up is I am doing the fretwork. I have this all taped off to protect the fingerboard. I'm just crowning these frets. And this neck is going into this body. This is what it's going into. So this is Gopher. This is the tung oil resin finish. It's a kind of a satin finish, but it makes the wood look pretty nice. The other camera doesn't get all the flame in it, but this thing is highly, highly flamed. I had to build, I'll probably sell this one too, but I need a new guitar. I sold my guitar, so this is my new guitar. And I have a second top, just like this one, that's actually nicer. And I am building a second one just like this one with black walnut because I'm getting ready for my production run. I got 4 Turkish walnut tops that are supposedly out for delivery. We will see. How much would I sell that? Just the body or the guitar? I don't sell my body, Gopher, and I'm offended by the question. I have integrity. I sell my bodies to no one. Everyone has a price. Everyone has a price. I probably... Oh man, Ravatar, did you get stuck behind the ads? They're only going to get worse. Get ready. This winter Twitch is trying to make some money. And those ads are not going to get better. 3-minute ad segments. Anyway, we're making monies. Jeff Bezos needs a new yacht. Just 3 in a row. Let me tell you about my man, Jeff Bezos. Poor Jeff Bezos. Not the richest man in the world anymore. He's the second richest man in the world. You know how that makes him feel? Doesn't make him feel good. When he goes to parties, he gets ignored. He walks in the room, everyone's looking at Musk, the richest man in the world. Nobody wants to talk to Bezos. Nobody wants to party on his yacht. You know, he's like, hey, everybody, I got the biggest yacht in the world. Come over and party. And they're just like, you don't even have a spaceship. Oh, wait, he does have a spaceship, but nobody cares. That's Jeff Bezos, and that's why the ads are increasing on Twitch. He doesn't know what else to do. He got the biggest yacht. He built a spaceship. Still no respect. Yeah, I know. You won't be able to get away from the ads. You'll never be able to get away from the ads. Let me tell you, my man Jeff needs a bigger boat. You can help him. I'm helping him. He's taking almost half of my sub revenue just so he can have a bigger boat. And I'm happy. I'm happy for him to have it. Think bandwidth is free? Twitch has to redo their entire model. It's not working. So it might be good. It might be good. Hey, Gopher, thanks for popping in. We'll chat with you later. It'll be interesting. I think Twitch is starting to realize that the Kingmaker system is not working. Right now, Twitch, the algorithm is just about making the bigger channels bigger and then selling ad revenue in those slots. And they realize that actually doesn't work. So they might actually be opening it up for us smaller streamers to actually get a piece of the pie. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm optimistic. My man Jeff is on it. I don't know if you guys saw the other day. It was just being twitchy. Yeah, no. They're going to make you pay. They're just going to bombard you with like 3-minute ad segments. But the other day, I don't know if you guys saw in the Discord, Kev from the Bunker posted that he was on the front page of Twitch. So Twitch was doing this thing for smaller streamers can apply and get onto the front page. And anyway, it was great for him. He had a huge stream. It just goes to show that, yeah, if you get put on the front page of Twitch, you get hundreds of thousands of views, right? So it's like, it was nice that Kev got that exposure. That was a big show, 173,000 views by the end of it. For us smaller streamers, that's a huge deal. Positively had to give warnings when the train ad was coming. Yeah, it's like, it's just how it is now. Like it's kind of, it is what it is. Again, it's like ads don't mean much to me because I'm so small that it's like maybe I make a couple bucks a month on ads. So it's like, I get it. If you're a bigger streamer, that would be decent revenue. But for me, I would rather not have any ads until I was big enough that it would actually serve me and not just annoy my viewers. But whatever, it's not my choice. Not my choice. You can turn off some ads. I don't know if my ads are on or off. I'll have to check that. They might be on. I might have just been. I used to have them off. I turned them on to see how much they actually generate, and it was like, it wasn't very much. Yeah, it was good to see that. No, so what Twitch is going to do is it will run the ad, but you'll still have, what they're going to do is your screen, you'll have a little preview screen still going. So it'll just like, the ad will be on the main page, and then there'll be a little preview box of the stream you're watching. I think that's what they're going to do. So you don't miss anything. It's just like, there, you know, especially like 3 minutes, you miss a lot, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Twitch is not making money. Twitch does not make money. And when Amazon bought them, they liked the platform because it has a lot of eyes on it, but they didn't really utilize it in a way. They're changing things. It's easy to say you're doing things wrong, you know, from the streamer's perspective, but it's like, I don't even know if they can modify their source code or how much that would cost to like revamp their entire system, if it's even possible. Who knows? I'm sure they're working on it. We will see. Yeah, don't worry. We'll see. This winter, all I know is this winter they are doing a bunch of stuff. They're doing a bunch of stuff. Whether that affects me or not, I don't even know. But I want to be doing more content stuff, but things are kind of up in the air right now as far as the shop goes. I got to get my own thing going. Meredith is leaving, as I've told you guys. Meredith is heading down to California in January. Will is trying to buy an island. A lot of things are going on in the shop. The main thing is I keep building. Yeah, exactly. I think you can control the ad breaks. Like you can just be like, okay, I'm going to do an ad break right now and just set it. And so you can control it. I don't know if I can control it like that, but I'm pretty sure you can warn people if you are controlling when the ad break happens. Yeah, I'm going to have to start dealing with it more. I didn't really have to deal with it. Like, you'd get an ad, whatever, but now it's happening a lot more. So, yeah, just controlling it better so it doesn't mess up the flow and stuff like that. Like I said, because I'm not really making any money off ads anyway. So it's like I don't care here or there. Maybe I would care if I was making money on ads. Then I'd be like, I love the ads. You don't like the ads? Then just subscribe. You know, if I was a real money grubbing streamer, which I will be soon enough. then I'll just be like, you don't like it? Why aren't you subbing? Gus.
Okay.
The PRS looks nice on the wall. Hey, Tari. Gus. I just want to show off Gus really quick.
Okay.
Come here, Gus. Tari, we got another puppy, Tari. We got Gus. Little Staffy. Yes. We got another puppy in the shop. Yeah. Forget about Emmett. We got Gus now.
Come on, buddy.
Oh, look at him.
We gotta go.
Okay, we gotta go. Okay, bye, Gus.
Come on.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, buddy. Are we going? Say bye to Uncle Henry. He's like, bye, dude.
Bye-bye.
A celebrity dog. That's what you made him.
Yeah. He's no Emmett. Oh, man, we got an Emmett fan here. Okay, yeah. Guitar questions are always welcome. Yeah, I like the collies and the shepherd dogs better as well. I agree, Tari. He's cute. I really like his demeanor. Gus has a great personality. Real chill dog. For a puppy, he's amazing. But yeah, I'm definitely more into the shepherd dogs. Working dogs. Ravatar, what's your question? Shibas are cute. Border collies, golden retrievers. Yeah, I had a border collie when I was a kid. Yeah, guitar questions are rare. German shepherds are beautiful when they're not horribly genetically inbred. I had a German shepherd as a kid, and he went blind. He wasn't a good breed, which was really sad. But I had a German shepherd. That was my first dog. Must get a new guitar dog. Yeah. I need people. I need those. The guitars are or the dogs. Forget the guitars. This is a dog stream now. Probably, that's a tough question. So, Ravatar, I build pretty much exclusively electrics now. I used to do acoustic stuff. I think I would say electric, but that's more of economics. Yeah, not a show line. The show line stuff, that's the inbreed. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So the reason I do a lot of the reason I do a lot of electrics, there was just more interest in my electric builds than my acoustic stuff. Acoustics are a lot more time intensive. And here's the thing. Okay. This is what I like about the electric guitar, and this is what you don't get from the acoustic, and this has nothing to do with the sound as an instrument. This is purely aesthetics. The great thing about the electric guitar is the fancy wood is on the front, whereas on an acoustic, the fancy wood is on the back and sides, so you don't really see it. So that's what I like about the electric guitar, like this PRS. You got the fancy flame maple right on the front, you know? So that's why I would choose electrics, is you get the good stuff. You see the good stuff. That's their advantage, I find. As an artist, having the fancy part on the front is kind of important to me. All picking? Yeah. Chooses a player or chooses a builder? Well, I'm not much of a player, so it doesn't matter. As a player, I would probably, I don't know, I like electrics. I like picking. I like Tellys. I think my Big River is a good guitar for me. It's a really good guitar for me. Yeah, and they don't need stupid inbred dogs either if it's a working dog. So they have to be smart and healthy. Yeah, German Shepherds are amazing dogs. I think here's the thing with another thing with electric guitars is they are pretty they are pretty versatile in what you can do. Wood Humbuckers brand. I use a lot of Seymour Duncan, but they're not my favorite. I like Lawler. I really like Lawler. I've been checking out a lot of Fralin recently. I like what Lindy Fralin's doing. But on the Telly stuff, I really like the Lawlers. Amp it up to 11. Fendweller, what's going on? Orbeez, yeah, I only use Orby brand pickups. I got to get some P90s and some mini buckers from him. Jer is going to make me some Tellys, some Telly pickups. The kids are in bed. Now we can party. I think Orbiter Pickups is a great name for a brand. Orbiter Pickups. Throw in some orbs, some Orbeez in there. What have you got in there? I got a couple of Orbeez. I don't really notice a huge difference scale length, but I don't really play up the neck. I would probably notice it if I actually went up here, Tari. But my 3 chords are all up here, so it doesn't make much of a difference. I can feel it a little bit, but I was playing that 24-inch scale for months, so it doesn't really affect me to go from 25.5 to 25. It is a nice scale length. I do like it. It doesn't feel weird. But then again, I'm not one to really say yay or nay on anything. The action on this guitar is super low. Yeah. You'd never get EMGs. The Orbucker. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the electric guitar has a lot more potential for versatility and tone. Though I've seen soloists on high-end acoustics doing amazing things. So it's like, but I really find the electric guitar to be a very intriguing instrument right now. Maybe I'll get into more acoustic stuff later, but right now I'm all about electrics. Yeah, I'm working on it, Tari. I know you sent me all that stuff, and I appreciate that. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to set aside some time. Manny's been playing his junior, and you're liking the 24.75. I don't mind the shorter scale lengths. I'm not really in a position to say yay or nay. I can do anything from a 24 to a 25.5. I have templates for 25.5, 25, 24.75, 24.6, I think, and 24. So I can do any of those scale lengths, and it's fine. Though my Roya, I changed my Roya model, is now a 25-inch scale length like this. My Big River is 25.5 because it's obviously a Telly variant. But I did do a 25, and I might do one more shape, and do it more like a Gibson scale length. But I think it suits the Roya to be a different scale length. you like it more for practicing solos, but you like the chording on the 25.5. That makes sense. I'm strictly a rhythm player. This is my plan. I'll become a competent rhythm player, and then I'll just bring in really good guitarists to do their solos, and I'll just sit there playing my 3 chords going, and they'll be doing all the things next to me. That's my plan. Become a competent rhythm player. Your longest, so you prefer those shorter scale lengths. Honestly, I don't think there's a huge, I think there is a pretty big difference when you're going from 25.5 to 24.75. You can feel that. When I did my 24-inch scale length, you could feel that. But not in a bad way. I think the 24-inch scale length, like if you're used to acoustics, acoustics are usually around 24. They can be longer. Obviously, you can get them in any scale length, but I think the shorter scale lengths will be more familiar if you're more of an acoustic player. You need a double neck. Well, if only there was somebody who could build a double neck guitar, Manny. If only. Play some blues. I'm working on. Tari's trying to get. He sent me a bunch of stuff to. He's like, you need to learn some blues bar chords. My plan is to learn enough bass to join a country band. I know it's. This is all you need to do is boom, 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 boom. That's all you need. I could be a country bass player. Everything in E. Anyway, I got plans. 29 fret baritones. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll do a baritone. I might do a baritone. I might do some fun. I haven't been doing any fun guitars because I've been super busy. I would like to do just one-off interesting stuff, like a bass, like a baritone, things like that. I'm trying to perfect my Big River. Because I got a lot of interest in that, and I got to keep pushing that. And once that's dialed in, I can just be making those, and then I can start building more stuff for fun. But right now, I'm so close to getting that Big River like really solid, like a real solid guitar, and it's like this is what it is, Go hunting and gathering, Tari. A short scale Big River. I did do a short scale. I got to do I think I might do. So, I don't know if we still have the template. So, okay. The Big River was originally a design that Meredith was calling the Dad Rock. And it's bigger. I'll see if I can find the template. I changed it enough to not get to call it my own. Here it is. So this, as you can see, very similar. This was the Dad Rock. Yeah, gets sued by Meredith. So this is the Dad Rock. This is big enough, it's a little bit bigger, that I could do a short scale bass with this body. It's a little bit longer. it's not a huge. So here's what I changed. Not a huge difference, but that's a subtle enough change that changes the feel of it, and it's a little bit longer. So I might go back to the Dad Rock dimensions and make it more a little bit bigger. Do it a little bit bigger. Make it a short scale bass or a baritone size. I changed the shape a little bit in here, and the horn, I just changed. It was really subtle. Like, Meredith had most of it figured out. Obviously, like, she was kind of doing a Les Paul telly shape. I asked her if I could take this and run with it. And she said yes, so it was her fault. So anyway, that's the Dad Rock. I might revisit the Dad Rock and modify this. I think that would be a nice, wonder if I have a bass neck. I don't have a 30. So here. So this is a 34 inch. This is a 34 inch bass neck. And that's just too big. But it could be a 30 inch and probably be proportionate. Oh, do you guys want to see a custom bass that a student made? I'll go grab it. Some of you guys might have seen this the other day. So this is a prototype for a jazz bass that Reza designed. Very, very modern, nice looking bass, 34 inch scale. He did it out of alder. It's nice and light, feels really good. Maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, nothing too fancy or ridiculous, but he got the shape works. It feels good. Pretty nice, interesting design, modern without being too kooky. Jazz, man. Yeah. I like the smaller bodies too. That's why my Big River is a smaller body, but not that much smaller. But that was, he wanted to prototype. This might become a thing. This is like the first prototype. He wants to like launch a small company that does custom basses. He's going to do a short scale version of this and even a mini like ukulele bass as well. So you guys, maybe we will see more of these in the future. Very nice. Yeah, it's true. Everything, it's pretty hard to come up with something original. Like I said, it's like the Freya here. The Freya is a Mustang meets an SG, you know. That was Meredith's other design. was the Freya. And then my Roya is actually a double cutaway version of the Big River. That was the basis. That's why it's kind of annoying when people say, oh, it looks like you were inspired by PRS, or they name some other builder. And it's like, no, I took the Big River and then made it a double cutaway, and that's what came out. You know, like it was inspired from my own, just a variation of it, you know. You can see that they are kind of similar. But I've only been doing those two shapes this entire time. That's why it'll be kind of nice working on that McCarty, because I just haven't done another shape since then. Though I don't mind. I don't get bored doing the same thing over and over again, because I like refining things until they're perfect. I like doing things over and over again until it's all worked out. This is the wiring. This is the wood. This is the dimensions. I really like doing stuff like that. Hey, Jay Kramer. Thank you for that follow. Yeah, headstocks are pretty iconic. I get that. Like, I get why, like, Fender has... Though Fender kind of ripped off Bigsby for those headstocks. Like, Bigsby came up with that Strat fin headstock, and everyone just kind of made variations of that. It's such a weird looking headstock, but it was just kind of like Bigsby came up. I'm pretty sure Bigsby came up with the that headstock shape, and then everyone else just kind of ran with it. Hey, Northern California. I'm in Vancouver, Canada. How are you doing tonight? We're in the same time zone. Anyway, that's the thing. It's like a lot of builders will just build the body and then just put their own headstock on. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's like, you know, I like doing my own shape, but I know it's derivative. But it's just kind of like taking the things I like about tellies and removing the things I don't like, you know? That's why I feel like I'm pretty close with the Big River to be a fully flushed out design. It's very, very close. Once I get the custom pickups for it, it will be a completely customized guitar with every detail almost. Oh, you got some rain today? We got a bit of rain last week, and that was it. It's been pretty dry here as well. Not yet, Texas Truth. Soon we'll make the announcement, and I'll have Meredith come on the podcast, the Luthier Uprising podcast, and we'll just talk about all the things. We'll spill the beans. Yeah, no word yet, or like we know what it is. It hasn't been officially announced yet. Yes, I agree with you, Fen Dweller. The Kramer headstock is terrible. It's so ugly. I made one of those for a guy once. It was just ridiculous. Rat rod style? Yeah. That's the thing, is like I like the Tele variants. I like the Telecaster as a guitar. I guess I'm kind of a Tele guy. But there's some things I don't like about it. But you can just do so much with it that you don't have to be true to it, and you can build tellies out of anything. It's a really great platform, and that's what I always tell people. For their first builds, build a Telecaster. Even if you don't want to keep building Telecasters, do a Telecaster for your first build, because it's probably the easiest one to make. But just because it's easy doesn't mean it's easy. Like if it's, make it perfect. It's just, there's a lot of things about it that make it accessible for amateur builders to do. And you can really make it your own. Put the headstock back on to a headless guitar. Gata Logic, that's subversive and genius. Is a Kramer and hates the Kramer look. Yeah. They ruined the Kramer name. Peavey has a decent headstock design variation. I haven't seen the Peavey. I'm going to look it up. Oh, you mean the Strat. Seinfeld redeemed it. Build a Jazzmaster for your first build so you can quit in a fit of rage. Yeah, I find that the Fender stuff, though, I think it would be easier to build a Jazzmaster for your first build than an SG. Let's see that. Oh, that's an interesting. Yes, the little notch in there. Interesting. That does look nice. I've seen some people do those. That does look nice. That's a tasteful. Yeah, actually, I do like the Peavey headstock. That's a nice. I like the one that's like swooped, not the Predator, but the one where it's more of a sharp angle. Here, let me load this up so everyone can see. Give me a second. Yeah, bolt-ons are definitely easier than neck-throughs, yeah. Working on it, Tari. Momo, how are you doing? I thought you were making a hang butt there, Momo. Yeah. It's a Hank butt. Okay, here's what Texas Truth is talking about. That's a cool looking headstock. I like that. No, your gig bag should look like a gun case. It's unique. It's ergonomic. It's dangerous. My headstock is a horse head. That's my headstock design. It's not anything too radical either, but it's mine. It has some similarities with Sir, but not completely. Like, you can tell the difference between this and a Sir headstock, but it kind of has some of the. It's almost like a Peavey as well, except I don't have the notch in there. But I was thinking of a horse head when I drew this. That's what this headstock is. But that's my headstock. That's mine, and I will sue you if you use that, Momo. I will sue you. I'll take all your money. Yeah. Gun cases actually work really well for guitar cases. Because you can just cut the foam out to fit them. Will uses gun cases a lot for his guitars. But then it looks like you're carrying around a gun case. Some might find that cool, some might find it kind of cheesy. I understand. What's in the case? What's in there, mate? You use a gig bag to carry your bow around? It's a guitar. What do you carry your lap steels in, Gatto? So far, I've been using pretty generic cases for my guitars. Just black square case or rectangle cases. Yeah, you work for a bank? Just my guitar. Nobody will expect it. Just like Desperado. Remember Desperado? El Mariachi? No one was impressed by the Explorer. You don't carry lap steels? Someday I would like to get some, get some ridiculous cases made in the future. All alligator skin dyed red. Nothing says classy like alligator skin dyed red, right? I think that suits my brand. Snakeskin jackets, alligator skin cases, water buffalo boots. That's how I roll. Fen Dweller says in a coffin is the best one. I saw Fen Dweller. Have you seen those? Oh, which guitar company? They did do a coffin guitar case. Fen Dweller. There was a metal company. Oh, who was it? I think it was like Dean or somebody does do the coffin guitar case. Now you're looking up palm. I thought you were looking into pickup winding the last time, Gatto. Yeah. No, just wait, Tari, until I have my Komodo Dragon case. Exclusive. The most exclusive case you can get. Cash in on that, Gatto. Cash in on that. Kangaroo leather. Now that's Aussie, yeah. Yeah, coffin cases. They're cheesy. Coffin cases are so cheesy. Yeah. I make classy guitars out of exotic animal skin. I don't have coffin cases. Real Siberian tiger fur, Komodo dragon skin, Siberian tiger fur on the inside, elephant tusk nut. That's what my clients want, exclusivity. White rhino tusk nuts on them. What's a dime bag case look like? I think dime bag has the coffin case for the. Yeah, I think dime bag because it's a V, right? It makes sense. I think dime bags is a coffin. Heavy metal cliche. Heavy metal is like one long cliche. Yeah. Terry, how are you doing? I'm just talking guitar cases. I'm just trying to finish my frets. I really need to get this neck done, oiled up, so it can cure, and then next week I can assemble this one. All of my hardware should be in. I'm just waiting for a 4-way switch. I think I have the capacitors I need. Sorry everybody, I've decided not to use oil and paper capacitors. I'm just not. I'm not going to use the cheapest capacitors, but I'm not going to go full retro Bumblebee oil and paper capacitors. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It's like I'm not going to go that far. Yeah. So there's a lot of when you get into hardware, but I will be using vintage. Let me show you vintage wiring and why I'll use vintage wire. So the vintage style wire is like cloth. Yeah, cloth covered wires. It's pretty easy to work with. You don't have to snip it. It's actually better to work with. You just push back the cloth and it has pre-tinned wire on it. So it makes sense to use that as opposed to just wire like this where you have to snip the plastic end off. So I ordered, normally I've been using just regular wire like this, but that's the one thing, it's way easier to work with this stuff. It might be a little bit more expensive, but not that much more when you break down the cost. Yeah, it's nice. It keeps its shape much easier, and you can do really nice. How you run the wires is an art form, and I've been working on something. Me and Meredith have been talking about it. If you look up, I'll show you like Emerson. Okay, so I was trashing Emerson, saying that the oil and paper are overrated, but Emerson does amazing pre-wired plates that look so clean and nice. And this is I'll load it up so you can see it, and it's like these are like works of art. And I want my wiring to look like this. This is very clean, and it just looks very nice. So it's like wiring setups like that just look really good. Yeah. Yeah, it gives them better tone, but this is really nice. This is ideal. This is what really good wiring looks like. And it shows you put time into it. And I think with a little bit of work, I can come up with some really nice wiring patterns, you know? Like just look how clean that wiring is. That's really nice looking wiring. My wiring is not this nice. Tari, is your wiring this work of art? This is people who've taken it to the next level. So Emerson, they do custom electronics. Really nice stuff. That's about $100 for that wiring kit. This is a Strat pre-wired kit. It's 117 Canadian. If you want a vintage correct wiring kit and you don't want to do it yourself, that's a really good price. And you will get vintage correct hardware. That's what they're selling, right? So it's like, I can't knock them. I can't knock them for that, but I'm definitely going to take some of their ideas and incorporate it into my own wiring layouts. Yeah. Well, you just don't have any movement, Momo. Yeah. You'll need a better soldering iron. Yeah. Cable management. Oh, for sure, Texas Truth. I have a friend who works for the local telephone company, and he installs the fiber optic. So he was showing me some of his, like, because he's so proud of his layouts in the boxes that he does, like for the fiber optics. He's like, he has everything laid out really nice. And so when somebody opens that box, it's like immaculate, and everyone who needs to service that, everything is right there. It's not a pile of spaghetti, you know? And there is something to that, to having like a really nice layout like that. Wire management, I like that term. Yeah. Mine is also works, but it's not pretty. I need to make it pretty. Yeah, you can paint eyeballs on it. If you can paint eyeballs on a Space Marine, you can do that. It's just being conscious of what you're doing and coming out with a layout that looks good. And I'm going to figure it out, because that'll be a thing. It'll be a selling point. It's like, I have a 4-way switch in here, and you can toggle between 50s and modern wiring. So what I'm offering in my Big River is like both worlds. Like, you have those vintage options. You can bring it into the modern world, or you can drop it back into the old school. You know what I mean? I want to offer both those things. So it's like, you can, if that's important to you, those vintage sounds, those vintage tones, it will be there, you know, for you to explore, you know. So that's one of the things that I'm looking at. Yeah, just a pile of spaghetti and 4,000 buttons. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can get all those things down Gatalogic. It's just it hasn't been a focus. You guys have been seeing me focusing on woodworking, carving those necks, getting those bodies nice, getting that finish. I've been focused a lot on the ergonomics and the design and the woodworking. And I have not been giving much attention to the electronics. But now I'm shifting gears, because I feel like I have the aesthetics down, I have the woodworking down, I have the dimensions and the ergonomics. As an instrument, it's down. I have that figured out. So now I can add more dynamic options to it through the wiring. So this is phase 2. Will be like, okay, here's my wiring that I'm going to do. I might still tweak it. But then the next thing will be custom pickups for it. So incorporating all the design elements into a unique piece. I don't want people to just get, oh, here's a telly that's fancy, but you aren't really getting much that you wouldn't get from like just putting in higher end pickups into a Telecaster or into a thin line. I want it to have a little more something under the hood. So I'm working on that now. And that's a big part of electric guitars are the components. That's why I did research. I think the capacitor stuff is overrated. I could not hear a difference with the vintage style capacitors as opposed to modern. So I'm like, I don't care about that. I can't hear a difference. But there are different ways to wire that do create differences. The pots, CTS pots, are definitely the way to go. You don't want to cheap out on the pots. So you get the proper outputs. Things like that. I have the talking down. Yeah, I can talk the talk. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll try this. I'm going to wire it up exactly like I said, the four-way switch. And if the 50s wiring doesn't do anything, I'm going to take it out. If I feel like it doesn't enhance the instrument, I'm taking it out. But I've never tried it before, so I'm not going to put anything in as a gimmick. If I feel that if I did put in vintage capacitors, it would be a gimmick, and I can't stand beside it because I couldn't actually say that it was enhancing the instrument. It's filled with snake oil. You know what's inside that oil capacitor? Snake oil. That's what it is. So Momo, next Friday, bodies will be going into water. Actually, this Friday, your Saturday, Momo, Rage is coming up. We're going to hydro dip some bodies. Bodies will go into water. I promise you. This Friday, or as they call it, Saturday in Australia. Rage is coming up. We're going to do some hydro dipping. Rage in person. That's the only guest I have. No Megan this year. She's off working in Alberta right now. So it's Meredith will be around, will be around, and Rage is coming up. That's the plan. Yeah, no gimmicks. You can spend a lot of money on gimmicks and stuff. Like I said, here's the thing. The CTS pots, the more expensive pots, are a thing. CTS pots are made in America, or I think Taiwan is the other place that makes them. They're a little bit pricier, but the quality control on the CTS pots is better. So you're actually getting the outputs that the capacitor or that the pot says it is. That's the problem when you buy cheap pots. One, they might just be garbage and not work. And another thing is there's you don't know unless you test it that you're actually getting close to the outputs that it says. Just because it says 500K on it doesn't mean you're getting 500K. So the quality control and the tolerances on the CTS pots are closer to what you're actually, it says you're getting. It might not be perfect, but it's closer than possibly a cheaper pot. Yeah, that's what they had. But I get it. If somebody wants to have a vintage, a true vintage, that's Emerson is filling that that market. There is a market for people who want vintage correct wiring. It's just the wiring they had at the time. It's not magic. And that's my opinion. And the audiophiles and who get obsessed with that stuff, it's like I don't play that game. But it's like I do want good electronics in my guitars. And I do want interesting tones, you know? The cheap ones get noisy. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, they have to be properly made, for sure. So don't skimp out on the pots. That's what I'm saying is, don't skimp out on the pots. That's a thing. Capacitors, you know, I'm not going to buy the 30-cent capacitors. I will splurge on the $1 capacitors. The big ones, just to make you feel better. I'll get the big chiclet ones. You know, the big orange chiclets. Yeah, look into it, Nifty. It is a thing. It is a thing. Yeah, I would do the vintage esoteric stuff. Yeah, it's like the tone. I have my tone sandwich. There might be differences in frequencies that we cannot hear. That's another thing when people talk about tone. Like there might be different frequencies, but the human ear can't hear it. I might not have perfect pitch hearing, but I was listening to demos of the same guitar with different capacitors. If you want different tone at this point, you can do different effects, you know. Honestly, I found doing semi-hollows gives you a lot of resonance. That it does change things. It is more pronounced with the single coils, specifically in the Telecasters. They sound great. These semi-hollow, I'm not doing this as a gimmick. The semi-hollow walnut, I'm doing it because it actually sounds really nice and gives it a lot of acoustic qualities, you know, especially with the neck pickup sound in my guitars. The neck pickup sounds great with that semi-hollow sound. You just get this resonance and it just picks up really nice. With a couple humbuckers, probably doesn't matter as much, but it depends on what kind of music you're playing. If you're doing jazz, that semi-hollow can do a lot. And there's a reason why PRS does the semi-hollow mahoganies with the maple tops. That's a combo that works and is consistently sounds good for jazz. It just works, you know. Yeah, it changes the feel, and that's what Jer was saying too. Having that semi-hollow, you connect to the instrument better. You feel the resonance. You're more connected to the instrument, which can enhance the performance. I think that's a thing. I think the semi-hollows is like, I'm not doing them as a gimmick. They look nice, and they enhance the instrument. That's why I do it. And it also is weight relief. It takes off weight. I don't believe in solid body sustain. Yeah, exactly. Not everyone hears the same frequencies. Yeah, exactly. your hearing changes. I don't know. I highly doubt my hearing is as good as it used to be. I don't think I have hearing damage, but there's definitely there probably is damage at this point. I'm around a lot of tools. I'm not deaf, but I don't have great. I probably don't have the best hearing in certain frequencies. Yeah. There's a reason why they do it for jazz style guitars. The semi hollow or the hollow, the neck pickups sound phenomenal. And that's what you want. Yes, exactly. That's a really good point. Tari is saying if you play really loud, semi hollows are not your friend. There will be a lot of feedback. And I've heard of musicians stuffing t-shirts into their semi hollows or their hollow bodies, like they're playing like Gretsch hollow bodies, and they'll actually put them in to dampen the sound when they're on stage because they're just too much feedback. So it depends. It depends on how you're playing. Dave Grohl, yeah. What does Dave Grohl play these days? Is he playing a Gretsch? A lot of the guys are playing Gretches. I saw Billy Joe Armstrong. He's playing a Gretsch. He's playing a Gibson. Oh yeah, he's a Gibson guy. Yeah, but it's a semi-hollow. I was thinking. With diamond-shaped sound holes. After the age of 25, the frequency drops. That's what I attribute to like bands sucking when they get old. Everybody's like, what happened to that band? They used to be good, now they suck. And it's like, yeah, they all have hearing damage and they can't hear themselves anymore. That's my theory of why bands suck. It's not the drugs, it's not the partying. It's they all have hearing damage and they can't even hear themselves play anymore. I haven't tested my hearing in years. I don't even know what my frequencies are at. Probably not great. I used to have really good hearing. Yeah, there definitely would be a lot of feedback. But then sometimes they like it. It's like Tom Armstrong from Rancid. He always played with a Gretsch. He had a hollow body that he would swing around. He didn't care about feedback. Just do punk music. That's another thing where it's specific to the player. So if I was doing a double humbucker hard rock metal guitar, it would be solid body Swamp Ash. That's my go-to wood for doing solid bodies. Swamp Ash is a great wood. It's strong, but it's also it's light. Um, it does very well for metal guitars, rock guitars. So that's the thing. If you're distorting a lot, hey Chai 109, thank you for that follow. If you're playing with really loud with a lot of distortion, it does not matter. Um, and that's my guitars are not for that, but I can make them in the future. I might do more, uh, like those style guitars. Like this guitar is a solid body mahogany. It's not too heavy. It's a little heavy, but these PRSs. This PRS is a rock PRS. It's totally set up. That's for rocking. That's not for jazz. Um, yeah, you use the feedback. Yeah, but sometimes they like it. Not exactly going hard. Do the Sasquatch metal guitar. I might do the Destroyer. I might do a Roya metal version, the Destroyer. I might do a Destroyer at some point. That's how I haven't been able to do any fun guitars. I've only been doing work guitars. Obviously, Hank Bud Guitars is a country guitar company. There's a lot of guys doing amazing metal guitars. I don't feel a need to get into that market or even try. The guys, the boutique metal guys, there's just so many awesome guys making metal guitars. And then the companies putting out, like Ibanez makes amazing guitars. Kiesel makes amazing guitars. Jackson. Like, I don't see what I could contribute to the market is basically what I'm saying. Yeah. Koa is a great wood. Oh, that sucks. Koa is really nice. I really like Koa. We don't get a whole lot of Koa up here in Vancouver. It's a rare thing. We can get it in, but it's pricey. But definitely, Koa is a great tone wood. It's like a mahogany, but not quite as heavy. But it has a lot of mahogany kind of attributes to it. Yeah. For the Rancid fans. I don't mind Rancid. I looked up I think the other day I was looking up how's Tom Armstrong doing these days, and it's like he's aged into kind of like a skid. He's got a big beard now, and he just looks like, he looks okay. He looks okay for a 50-year-old punk rocker, I was looking up old like kind of 80s, 90s punk guys like Social Distortion. I like them as well. He's gone full kind of like folk punk. But I never had a problem with Rancid. Yeah, well, metal. The metal market is the metal market. And it's just not my jam. It's just not my jam. Hank Bud guitars, why would I try and sell to metal guys? But if somebody does want a metal guitar from me, I can do it. It's a really soft wood. Yeah, it's definitely a lot softer than mahogany. Not quite as soft as Spanish cedar, though. Beautiful wood, though. Makes great acoustic guitars as well. Yeah, basswood is a good... Ibanez uses a lot of basswood. because they want them light. And if you coat it in a real hard finish, you're okay. But basswood, I like alder. I have access to more alder up here, so I will use alder before basswood. Occasionally I've gotten some basswood. Karen is working on a basswood guitar for me right now that I sent her. But I haven't used much basswood, but it is a good wood, even if it is very easy to dent. You just have to coat that thing in a real thick finish and you're good, you know? Yeah, metal sells guitars and dreams the kid. Yeah, everybody wants to be a metal player. They're probably some of the most exciting players and ridiculous. You can, I think a reason, I've talked about this before, why boutique builders are attracted to building heavy metal guitars is because you can go all out on them. Metal music is very dramatic. It's very theatrical. You can go out there with a pointy burl guitar with a dragon burst and everyone will accept it. If you're in a jazz band, that might not vibe with your look, but people will accept crazier shapes and designs and woods and colors for metal than they would for other genres. But that's just how it is. You know, that's just the market. And I think that's what attracts a lot of boutique builders, because you can do the craziest stuff for the metal guys and they will love it. But I found that's what I'm trying to do with the Big River is boutique, classy looking guitars for country and blues. There are some guys who do it, but a lot of the custom guitars for the country guys are just very vintage style guitars. They're just vintage looking. They're nice guitars, but it's like I want to bring a more art side and kind of sell that to kind of the country scene, because I just feel like has a more potentially bigger market than doing stuff for like metal at this point. I think it's wide open. Yeah, it would be no different than using spruce, really. What do you mean there, Texas Truth? I don't understand. Oh, I coughed. Don't worry. It's been smoky here. It's been really smoky here in Vancouver. There's forest fires. It's been really dry this year. My throat is really, really hoarse. Not monkey, hoarse. Yeah, it's been really smoky, and I've been like stuffed up and just coughing a lot. Why ride a bike? I could just smoke a pack of cigarettes and feel the same way. The guitar shop. Which guitar was that in Wayne's World? I remember it was a white Strat. Was it a white Strat? Yeah, it was like a white Strat. From what I remember. Yeah. Like the one Hendrix played. Yeah, that was it. I really like white guitars with gold hardware. Never made one, but I really like, I've said it before, I like white guitars with gold hardware. It looks really classy. Maybe someday. Someday I'll make one. It has no gold hardware. I'm not a huge fan of gold hardware, but sometimes it looks really good. That's the thing. There's so many different, like, I don't really spray. I sprayed that one, and it's kind of like just for fun. I don't usually do spray finishes, but I will. I will occasionally. I just like to prove that I can. I'm doing a matte black one. Occasionally, it's more of like, I have a lot of paint grade wood. Like this one, that one was like bunch of maple. I sprayed a matte black Big River because I had a bunch of paint grade alder. I might do those just for fun. Just always kind of have one on the go if anybody wants a more inexpensive instrument. Might do some giveaways. I haven't figured out my Yule giveaway. No white guitar. White is a real pain. I have to be inspired for the right guitar. I don't know if my guitars would look good white with gold. Honestly, it's like if I felt like one of my guitars would look good like that, I would do it. But I don't think it would really enhance anything. Yeah, I could. White is also very unforgiving. So if you do white, it better not have any mistakes in it. Into a blood splatter finish, yeah. I'll just dip it. So Rage wants to do red and black for his guitar. Actually, Rage, are you there? He keeps appearing and disappearing. I don't know if he prepped a body yet. I have to prep a body. I still have to spray. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. So Tuesday, Wednesday. That gives it a few days to cure. White cars are easier. Interesting. I'm going to spray this one black because it's all ready to go. This was the one that I was going to do with Papa Doom, but then totally dropped the ball on that. So this body's ready. So this one will be black, and then I'm going to do pink, bright pink dip on it. So I think that'll look pretty good. Then Rage is bringing up some pickups for this one. So we'll get this one yet. But I think that'll look pretty good. That'll be kind of metal. This will be the most metal guitar I have. I need to do a tummy cut. I just realized I didn't do a tummy cut on that one. Yeah, just prep a body. Cut it and prep it. Yeah, check out my relic Porsche. my rat rod Porsche. I just rat rodded my Porsche. I primed. I never used gesso. I've primed them with like a polyurethane. That's usually about it. Is like if I am going to prime them, it'll be with like some sort of like poly pore filler, and then I'll spray over that. Gesso? I'm not familiar with gesso. No, I've never used that. It's more about at the end of it, so how you seal it anyway. I'm usually just throwing acrylic paint on it. Automotive paint works well. Hey Maxim, thank you for that follow. Automotive paint is what they traditionally used on guitars. Fills in small imperfections. Yeah, just anything that kind of like fills it and keeps the grain from raising when you put the paint on. I'll look into it. Some people use Z-epoxy. Z-epoxy is used a lot by luthiers. Art frames, okay. Interesting. I'll have to look into that.